Pretty good line. On the red man, Cowie set now. On the red man, ducking. Ready. Racing. On a red man in the centre, jumped out quickly with Affected. Fallacious was well away. Silver Shark working out wide, Reputed down near the inside with No Cumber, and then Hunter's Ace. Prominent was alternating the early part 2, and then Grey Liberty. Settling down, racing to the judge on the first occasion, a great battle for the lead, where Fallacious working hard on the outside, getting across the field from Reputed. No Cumber next to the rail. Silver Shark shuffled out about 5 deep. I'm a red man 4 wide. Alternate pushing them out deep, and they're followed then by Elusive Way. A length and a half farther back in the field, Hunter's Ace and then Little Ick. Next over on the outside was Grey Liberty. A length farther back was Affected. Then Delac Road. Latin Rules got back near the fence, but he's second last, and last is Hoodoo Joe. Into the back straight they travel towards the 1200 in the cup, and dictating terms in front. Fallacious now goes, settling him down. Gauchi slowed the field up, led by a length now. Alternate in second place, coming away from the fence. Third then on the outside, Brent Thompson, and I'm a red man. Fourth, No Cundra. Fifth was Silver Shark, and then Elusive Way. The outside Reputed the rails. Splitting them in the centre was Hunter's Ace, followed by Little Ick, and then Grey Liberty. Next, Latin Rule on the inside, going around them on the outer, then is Affected. And last of all in the field, and being hard ridden, is Hoodoo Joe. About fourth last, and starting a run was Dalac Road. Making the back turn, they race up past the 800, and just riding along in front is Fallacious. He's kicked away, hanging in second place is Alternate, and Fallacious got away by 3 lengths to Alternate. I'm a red man now moving into third place. Silver Shark being hard ridden, followed by Elusive Way on the outside. Affected coming around them rather quickly next. They're followed then by Grey Liberty. Latin Rule starting to work into it as they come to the turn, and a gap to Reputed. They really clam up as they come around the bend. 300 left to go. Fallacious under the whip, tackled by I'm a red man. Affected's out 3 wide, and they're followed then behind them by Latin Rule, finishing fairly well. 200 metres left to go. Fallacious and I'm a red man are fighting it out. I'm a red man the outside, Fallacious the rails. I'm a red man going a shade to better. Fallacious fighting her back. I'm a red man and Nostril Fallacious. 3 lengths away, third tight. Hunter's Ace or Elusive Way. They're followed then by Affected. Next home, Grey Liberty, Reputed. A gap in the field then to Alternate. They're followed in by Latin Rule. Well back in the field, No Cundra, Dalac Road, Little Ick, and last is Hoodoo Joe. Judges call for a desperate photo finish, and I fancy that I'm a red man may have won back-to-back Titan Cups, but it's only a bob of the head. A tremendous finish. Only the judge will be able to separate them. Here's the replay. Fallacious the inside, and I'm a red man fighting out a dogged finish. I'm a red man joined Fallacious. Thompson went for the whip. Gauchi doing likewise. They've drawn away from Affected and Hunter's Ace. They've got the race between them. It's only going to be a matter of which one gets the bob in. Definitely Fallacious. I'm a red man drawing to him on the line. And, oh, I think I'm a red man even watching the replay. I'm a red man may have got that bob in, but that's all it is. It's only the bob of a head. And here's another angle as we watch the replay. 2 great riders riding at their vigorous best. You notice the whips going with their mounts stride for stride, and using the whip stride for stride, and you'd say I'm a red man for sure watching that low angle photo finish. But the judge examining the print will open the door and listen to the number if it comes into the frame. Darren Gauchi adopted daring tactics. He just shot away. Yes, I'm a red man's got the photo. Back-to-back wins. I'm just checking that number. We better just check because the number doesn't go into the frame from where we're watching. And we're relying really on the course commentary. Perhaps you could see it down there, Alan.
Number 3 has got it from number 2, and there's a photo for third, Clem, and it looks like number 12, Elusive Way. We're right on the finish line, and I thought I'm a red man has got it in the last couple of bounds to get up and win the Nissan Australia Kyneton Cup. Well, Clem, 2 of the greatest riders in Australia putting out a great show here at Kyneton.
Particularly that shot, that head-on, low down to the ground shot, I think that typifies 2 great riders. You'll notice the horses are in stride, and each time they use the whip, they're in stride and in motion with the horse. It's worth having another look at, Alan. if we possibly can, boys in the studio, that low shot. It's a beautiful shot. And you see both riders at their vigorous best. Thompson with his international experience and Darren Gauci, two fine riders, and a great reception to Brent coming back to Scarley. Rode the horse perfectly in third place. There it is there. I think that's a magnificent shot. The boys are to be complimented at BCV for that shot. It's a beautiful shot. Look at it. They're in unison. And it's just that bob of the head on the line that gave I'm a Red Man his second consecutive Kyneton Cup. And Ted Ryan is waiting down there to speak to, no doubt, George Hanlon, the trainer, who's also won the Werribee Cup with Agent Provocative. And then Agent Provocative ran a good race in the Melbourne Cup yesterday. But
well, Bruce Jenkins, former top jockey, filling in for George Hanlon today. Well, it was a great win by I'm a Red Man, Bruce.
Yeah, the boss presented him well, didn't he? But if he's bad luck yesterday.
Well, what's happening to George today?
He's just a bit flattened. A bit disappointing yesterday. His horses ran great yesterday. But this is his way. He turns them out. He come up fighting again today. He's a marvel, he is.
Well, Bruce, I'm a Red Man has been set for this race again. He won it well last year and won it well again this year.
Well, the boss only sent me up to set him up because he wasn't well. The boss, we're down at the other end of the town. That's the boss's horse. Geez, great effort, wasn't it?
Good on you, Bruce. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Right, thanks very much there to Ted Ryan. Ted will be scurrying across now to catch up with Brent Thompson. What a tremendous finish to the Nissan Australia Kyneton Cup with I'm a Red Man, B. Thompson first, Fallacious, Darren Gauci second, and a dead heat for third between number 5, Hunter's Ace, Ken Russell, and number 12, which was Elusive Way, Shane Dye. So what a great race.
And I must congratulate you as a tipster, Alan. You knocked off mine just there.
What a great race it was, Paul, and I'm a Red Man giving George Hanlon back-to-back Kyneton Cups.
And of course, it's great to see Brent Thompson there, arguably the best rider in Australia, and he rode that horse right out to the win. And of course, Darren Gauci, one of those great riders also, and it really turned into a two-man war, didn't it?
Yes, as Clem said, when we had that low shot there of the last 50 metres or so with those two top riders, Gauci and Thompson, side by side, the horses in unison, it looked great television. Brent Thompson onto the scales, and very soon we'll have the correct weight signal for the Nissan Australia Kyneton Cup. Did you see any hard luck stories there, Paul?
Oh, no, there was some fairly tight racing, I thought, especially from the jump to the first turn, the straight. Of course, here at Kyneton, they've got a fairly long run to the first turn, but of course everybody's anxious to get position, and it's a fairly sharp turn as we come out of the straight here, and of course that makes them race very, very tight.
Right, well, we'll come back with the winning jockey, Brent Thompson, very shortly, but first we'll take this break. Back to Kyneton. Weight is right on the Nissan Australia Kyneton Cup. Correct weight for the numbers 3, 2 and a dead heat between 5 and 12. Ted Ryan now with Brent Thompson.
Thank you, Alan. Winning jockey Brent Thompson was a pretty tight one, Brent, but you got there. That's the main thing.
Yes, I knew I'd won on the line. On the turn I was going to win easy. I thought that he fights on very well, that Fallacious.
Yes, my word. Well, Brent, you seem to be going very, very easily in the run, and you just said did he seem to just wilter a bit in that final bit, or just the other one kept finding something?
The other horse, in fairness to him, he kept on finding plenty, but he's a game horse at I'm a Red Man. He fought all the way to the line, but if anything, he just might have preferred a little bit more cut in the ground than there is here today. It's pretty fast out there.
Best of luck, Brent Thompson. Well done.
There's Ted Ryan talking with the winning jockey on the race, and that is Brent Thompson, and we'll have the totes very, very shortly. Clem Dimsey's just joined me trackside now. Clem, did you see any hard luck stories in the Kyneton Cup?
May have been going out of the straight, a couple of push wide. It's always very tight in the early stages of any cup. It's very tight, but not really. I thought it was a daring attempt by Darren Gauci. I did sense that Alden 8 was hanging, running second, and I think he tried to duck away while he was hanging a fraction, make them get around him, which succeeded. Oh, I thought it was a magnificent race, and to see that shot, I think that's a magnificent shot to see two great riders. Didn't you, that low-angle shot?
Yeah, the last 100 metres was a tremendous battle, and I could see in the last 50 metres that I'm a Red Man was coming home over the top of the other horse, and I think he got home pretty comfortably in the end.
I thought he was, but I was going to wait until he hit that line. To make sure
to collect the money.
It was an enjoyable experience, I must admit, working today, Alan, and I'm glad that you've put punters on the winning list again. You do it every year.
Yeah. Clem, there's the totes very shortly we'll have for you. And Clem, just recapping on the race, you've been coming up here to Kyneton, a tremendous crowd here for this Nissan Australia Cup.
I think it's a marvellous crowd. I mean, well, it's such a wonderful course. I mean, the surroundings, you wouldn't get a prettier track in Victoria, would you? It's surrounded by trees. It's the committee, they're so obliging. They want people to come along. They encourage people to come along. Wonderful sponsorship. You've got Brent Thompson coming here, the best jockeys in the land. And you've got a great competitive race. I mean, every year, the Kyneton Cup is a great finish.
Well, it all happens again next week when we journey back to Bendigo for the Bendigo Cup, and let's hope that the entries are very, very strong for that one.
They will be.
And the crowd here, Clem, everyone having a great time. You're looking at the car park there, and have a look at that for a relaxed Wednesday afternoon.
That's where you might be relaxing a bit later, I would think, Alan.
Under a tree, it'll be great. Clem, looking back over the last week's racing, you've had a lot to do with what's happening down in Melbourne, and what are some of the highlights of the Spring Carnival for you?
I suppose the highlights of the Spring Carnival have got to be the Battlers win yesterday in the Cup. I thought that ride was very reminiscent of Gurners Lane and Mick Dittman defeated Kingston Town that year. Larry Olsen didn't leave the fence in any stage of the race. It was a magnificent ride. I think that had to be the highlight of the carnival so far, without any doubt. And owned by a syndicate, I think, which was great.
Yeah, great news. And of course, the carnival continues tomorrow with Ladies' Day.
Yes, and I think the Concordance, a New Zealander who flew in with Empire Rose on Sunday, might fly in and fly out with the Oak Stakes. Harry White had the choice of Top Date or Concordance, and he's chosen the New Zealand filly, and I think that he might choose successfully.
All right, thanks for your comments there, Clem, and they're getting ready for the presentation of the all-important Nissan Australia Kyneton Cup. Let's take you trackside now, and here's Paul Shawbull.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the President of the Kyneton and District Racing Club, Dr. Andrew Shipley.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome everyone today to Kyneton Racecourse. We've almost produced a fine spring day for you. We've already had today the Minister of Racing, Mr. Neil Trezise, who's opened our magnificent new grandstand. We've just seen the running of this year's Kyneton Cup, won again by, in magnificent style by Irma Redman, producing last year's form. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Mr. Ivan Devison, Managing Director of Nissan Australia, who will present the trophies. We thank Nissan for their sponsorship of this, our 1987 Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ivan Devison.
Thank you, Dr. Shipley. Nissan Australia is indeed proud to be associated with the Kyneton Cup, and we'd like to compliment Dr. Shipley and his committee on such fine arrangements here at Kyneton. It's a track, it's a club that they can be truly proud of, just as we are proud of Nissan products. We'd also like to congratulate the Nissan dealer of Kyneton, Mr. Len Gloucester, for his display at the racetrack here today. Building and selling the right products for Australia. That's what Mr. Gloucester's about. We'd like to congratulate the owners, the trainer, the jockey, and Irma Redman on successive wins in the Cup, and it gives us great pleasure on behalf of everybody to present the trophies. Mr. Keith Robertson, the owner of the winning horse.
Would you like Keith to say something? Keith?
Mr. Devison, Dr. Shipley, committeemen and members of Kyneton and District Racing Club, ladies and gentlemen. I had a tie outside after last year, but I didn't think we could win twice in a row. But I'd like to thank the sponsors, Nissan, for what they contribute to racing and their effort in helping Kyneton Racing Club out today. I'd like to thank George Hanlon. He's unable to be with us today. He's not too well after the last week. But in congratulating George in winning this race 2 years in a row for us, he's also is the 50th winner that George has trained for me. So I'd like to thank George and congratulate him. To Brent Thompson, thanks very much, Brent, for a job well done. But our old jockey nearly knocked us off, mate. And I'd like to thank, I forgot to thank George's staff. They do a terrific job with the horse because he's still only a boy and he takes a bit of handling. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. I'd now like to ask Mr. Bruce Jenkins to come forward on behalf of the winning trainer, Mr. Hanlon. Bruce? Well done, Bruce.
Thank you very much. To the president and club, committeeman, and the sponsor of this trophy, on behalf of my boss, Mr. Hanlon, who was indisposed from the Melbourne Cup Carnival yesterday, wasn't feeling so well. I said 30 years ago he was the greatest trainer in Australia, and his record proves it. And I think Brent Thompson marvellous job, and I wish Jeff Murphy would give this to him ages ago. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back, and it's the presentation ceremony over with I'm a Red Man scoring a great last ride victory in the Kyneton Cup this afternoon. There's the totes. I'm a Red Man, $1.75 and 80 cents. Fallacious, $1.15, and Hunter's Ace returned 60, and the other dead heater for third, Elusive Way, $3.30. And of course, the Cup action next week moves to Bendigo, and Ted Ryan has Jock Granter with him now.
Yes, Alan, well, welcome, Mr. Granter. First of all, Jock, the Bendigo Jockey Club next week, it's a tip-top program. I understand you've got some excellent entries.
Yes, we have some excellent entries. We have Drought, Fox Seal, I'm a Red Man, Fallacious, and all the horses almost who started here today, plus a number of others. We've got 60 entries in the Bendigo Cup.
It's an excellent entry. It's always been a big race and always been a big day at Bendigo. Naturally, TV8 will be down there. What about the other races? They're good programs?
Yes, the Welter and the Flying have both got good entries, and we're sure that they'll hold up, and it'll be a most attractive program to punters on and off course.
Right, now what about facilities for the public? Like, you know, is there any more improvements to the track? You've got that magnificent grandstand, you've got beautiful areas for people to make it a real picnic day.
It is a real picnic day, Ted, and the facilities are improved all round. We haven't got any new grandstand, but we've got excellent facilities, and facilities that all the public can enjoy.
There's always plenty of parking area. Now, what time will the gates be open?
Oh, 9 o'clock. Yes, we'll have the gates open at 9 o'clock. And I can assure the public who come that they'll receive the best of attention.
Good, Jock. We wish you well for a great meeting at Bendigo next Wednesday.
Thank you, Ted.
Right, Ted Ryan talking there with Jock Granter, the president of the Bendigo Jockey Club. Their two-day big carnival coming up next Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be there next Wednesday afternoon from 2:30. Now to just tell us how they've seen Cup Day here at Kyneton this afternoon, let's go back to Clem Dimsey, Ann Jones and Ted Ryan.
Well, first of all, we'll go to Anne first. You've enjoyed the day, Anne?
Oh, it's been thoroughly enjoyable, Ted, and being around all you experts, you people have been doing this sort of thing for years. I'm picking up a tiny bit, you know, by another 10 years I should be quite good at it.
Oh, it's good. You've enjoyed being out in the car parks amongst the champagne set?
It's been very pleasant, and I think everyone who's been here today would have to say that they've had a good day too, and the weather's been very kind to both horses and spectators, I think. Yes, racegoers.
Thank you, Anne. Well, Clem, welcome back to the microphone at TV8 here. You must have enjoyed calling that cup.
Marvellous experience, and I think racing's been great. The judges had to call for the magnifying glass 4 times to decide the finish, and that's how keen the racing's been, Ted.
You were spot on, CD?
Well, hopefully, or thankfully, yes, Ted.
Well done, Clem Dimsey. OK, well, that's it. Thank you, Alan.
Well done, Ted, and also to Clem and Anne for their help in the telecast this afternoon. Paul, it's been a tremendous day.
Well, as per usual, a great Kyneton Cup, and we hope that next year's is good, and of course we look forward to Bendigo next week.
Yes, Bendigo Cup Carnival, as we mentioned, will be on air next Wednesday afternoon from 2:30 through to 3:30, and all the action of the Bendigo Cup live on TV8 Sport. Good afternoon from Kyneton.
We'll see you.
This program was proudly brought to you by your local liquor stop outlet.
Wednesday.
The victim's a resident of Skid Row.
The last thing he said was something like, "This is just the first."
He's a Skid Row stalker.
Who is this? It's the Skid Row stalker. That is the same voice that called me before about the murders.
Undercover on Skid Row, huh? As what?
I'm looking for my friend Geraldine.
Did you ever hear the old saying that murder always returns to scene of the crime?
Okay, Hunter, get me out of here.
The final episode of Hunter, 11 o'clock tonight on TV8.
Look at this fantastic Holden